I went to their Halloween Fest, the comic book shop in Tillamook.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be Oregon Coast Comics in Tillamook, Oregon, by the way. Yeah, I think we're on. Yeah, we're on. We're recording. But yeah, he had his free comic book day, and we weren't going to do the party. So I said, well, I'll just drive out there this morning, and I got a few pictures. And
yeah, I saw you posted pictures.
Yeah. What are those two doing?
Well, they're newlyweds. What?
Oh, gross. Oh, that reminds me. I got to move something from the room. I'll explain later.
You okay?
No, I'm fine.
Did you get one of those?
Well, I had no idea what you're talking about.
I know exactly.
And apparently Jay and Trina did too. I ask them what the heck they're doing. They're just sitting there.
Oh, dear God, that's smooth.
Oh, the whiskey?
Real fucking smooth.
I'll get some in a minute.
Oh. Raymond E. Fiest wrote a new book.
Who did?
Raymond E. Fiest.
Not following.
No. A fantasy guy. Somebody I've been following since I was...
It's kind of like me and Anne McCaffrey. Well, she's not fantasy, really.
Yeah, she is. She's sci-fi fantasy. Yeah, so similar.
Yeah.
More in the vein of...
Well, it depends on which series you're talking about. If it's Dragon Riders, it's straight up sci-fi. There's no fantasy in Dragon Riders. There's no magic.
Yeah.
People confuse that all the time. But if you're looking at, like, the ship, the ship who sang and the city who fought, those are a little edgy into Star Wars-ish type fantasy.
I read most of Anne McCaffrey or anything that her or her son released. You know.
What's the series with the telepaths, the Gestalts? Which one is that?
That one I'm not...
Oh, what are those called? I used to know those, but it was the ships were one because the brains of humans were in these cities or in these ships. Then of course the Dragon Riders. Then the lion something. Oh gosh, I can't even remember. God, it's been a long time. Yeah. But there were some other ones too. But yeah, Pern is definitely the one that stuck with me all this time.
Yeah. No, like I said, Fiest was kind of more in the vein of the series was written in the... He wrote his first book in basically the main arc of the books that he's done.
Yeah.
First one came out in '82. Back kind of when role playing was D&D, and he actually attributed his first book to his group down in San Diego of like I can't remember what like the midnight, rollers. So
the midnight roller,
something like that.
It sounds like a roller derby.
But he's written a lot of books, and he kind of got... I don't want to say he got burnt out, but at some point he's like, dude, I'm kind of done writing on this particular arc. So it looks like he's got a new one. But yeah, there's a lot of books out there.
Yeah, some of the more famous authors that get stuck into that one series tend to kind of rebel a little bit sometimes.
Well, I'm reading right now. I think you may. I don't know if you've read it yet, but did you pick up that Star Wars book that came out? The one that it's a lot of short stories that fills out the arc of the
from a certain point of view. I just finished it.
I'm loving it.
I just finished it.
I haven't quite finished it yet.
The last chapter, I've got it on audio, and I'm going to play it on the show with a lot of caveats. Like, this belongs to Lucasfilm, because it's funny as fuck.
Yes, I haven't gotten to the last chapter.
Just the last chapter will crack you up.
So far, actually one of my favorites was the guy who's good at paperwork.
Oh, yeah. Well, because that's my job. That's what I do. I'm that functionary.
Yeah.
I'm the paperwork functionary, not logistics necessarily, but part of it. And I can totally see that. That shit does not function without those guys at all. You can be the big tough war machines, but unless the paperwork's getting filed, nothing's fucking getting done.
Or the insights to a Jawa.
God. That was pretty cute.
Though I did enjoy it, because what actually intrigued me to pick it up was I read the blurb about Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually advertising that snippet of it, and I had read something on Facebook about it. It's like, I gotta check this out.
Have you gotten to the Dianoga? the creature in the trash compactor?
No, I think that's the next story.
Oh, that one will bake your noodle.
So what I'm on right now, I think, is the point where the guy's one of the two guards that always hangs out with Darth Vader.
Oh, right.
So he's going through the whole
elite guard.
Yeah. So he's going through the scene where after he's feeling bad about what happened to Leia, and now where I left off is they just blew up Alderaan.
Yeah.
He's amazed at how poised she is, even though she's cracking. And
yeah, he was the one who held her back. He was behind Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did such a good job with that. They did a book kind of like that years ago about Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
And they made a bunch of side stories about the aliens in Mos Eisley. But this is way more sophisticated. The Dianoga one is amazing. I was just like, wow. It'll fry your head. You're like, oh, well, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
It's amazing. What's another really good? Like I said, the last chapter is really funny. Most of the combat ones are interesting in that you can tell sometimes they were read by they were not read so much, but written by folks who are either vets or did their research, because there's a lot of type of jargon, jarhead type stuff in some of these more elite units in these stories. The ones about the droids is cute. That's another one that's weird. The red astromech. Did you read that one?
Oh yes, that was great.
That Dianoga's a lot like that. It's something like, oh crap, that would make sense. Because if you look at Star Wars, everything happens so conveniently.
Yeah.
But we can chalk it up to the Force. It's like God. Like, oh, God willed it, therefore it's going to happen. But these little stories are doing a really good job of filling those holes.
It was so far it's perfect. I mean,
the Jaw was amazing. He actually had part of the Death Star plan.
Yeah.
Well, he had the whole thing. He had R2's CPU.
Yeah.
And I don't give too much away, but even he realized it was way huger than he thought it was. And then you think about it, how many weird things go wrong like that?
You said, like, with the red droid, the R5 droid.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He made a decision.
Yeah,
to sacrifice himself.
You know.
And that is just so crazy. It's just... it's by multiple authors. I'll post, when we post the video, links to that, because, as you know, I get things... Oh, did I give you your book? I have something for you. I couldn't give it to you at the wedding because we were too busy. But I got something for you here.
Good.
Yeah. We're all going to work on it together.
Okay. What the...
That?
Oh, because this is coming out.
Yep. That is one of the coolest books I've read in years.
We're going to do a book club, aren't we?
Yes, we are. On this one, we are. And then, we'll do that for a while, and then the movie comes out in March. We're talking about Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And I've talked a little bit about this when I did the review for... I forget which movie it was now. Oh, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. Have you seen Blade Runner?
I have not, but I don't mind talking about it.
Okay, I don't think Jay's seen it yet either. You hadn't seen the new Blade Runner yet, right? Yeah.
Or the old one.
Well, and you'll watch the old one eventually. Just calm down. I got a copy here for Jeff, too.
Okay, perfect. So you have already read...
Well, I audioed it. I have it on unabridged audio.
Okay.
And get this, it's read by Will Wheaton.
No way.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
And the most awesome part of that, though, is Will Wheaton is a very brief cameo character in the book.
In this book?
In this book.
Okay.
It's nutty, but he doesn't really thumb his nose at it either. He just kind of reads it straight.
Did you enjoy his story in the Star Wars book? He actually wrote one of the...
Yes, he did. He wrote one of the shorts. Which one did he write? I
think
forget.
he wrote the clerical paperwork.
I think so, and I think Neil Patrick Harris read one of them, too.
Oh.
In the audio. I forget. I'll have to look which one it is. But anyway...
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Changing
This
up.
Ready Player One, and I gave Jay his just before they left on their honeymoon. And like I said, I got a copy for Jeff. And have you started this at all?
I'm going to start probably this week.
Okay.
Because I had to finish the book I had.
I am going to listen again more times till we get to the movie, because I will say this about Ready Player One, the novel. There's no way the movie's this. There's no way.
Oh, they never are.
Well, I mean, not even close. Like, we've seen the trailer. There are things in the trailer that just aren't in this. Now, if there's other books later, I don't know. I know Cline has written more books, but I don't know if they're all connected. I have no idea. I guess I'll look around and find out, or the movie will tell us one way or the other. But you could get 3 movies out of this book.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There are literally 3, because the whole point of it, and I'll give a little bit away, is that they're hunting basically for 3 gates. Each gate could be a movie. But the gate they depict in the trailer is the last gate. So I'm kind of like, how are they going to do this? Plus, there's nothing in the book that's in the trailer, the racing, none of that's in the book at all. And so that must be a different book, or it's something they made up for the movie. But the references, Ghostbusters, old video games, Dungeons and Dragons, all in here. And the fact they like Rush and all this other stuff, it's just after reading this and then watching the trailer again, I was just psyched all over. Like, it was just freaking awesome.
Let me. So basically, what you want me to do is read it, and then we'll digest it.
Yeah. I'm gonna listen to it a few more times, obviously, and so as soon as
I've been waiting for a good physical book to read. So
yeah.
There we go.
As soon as I finished it, I was like, I gotta buy these for the guys. We gotta all read this sucker.
What's your password?
My what?
Your network.
Your
How did you lose
your
my
bank
password?
account
Did you
password.
reboot or something?
I think you changed it.
Nope. I don't think I changed it. But here, hang on. You just probably have to update it or something.
See, their Transformers are cool.
No, it's the basic
Star
one.
Trek is awesome.
You never changed it to
Or
like an actual word.
the strongest Avenger.
Strongest Avenger.
Strongest Avenger. Good afternoon, Dr. Banner.
His would be Batman related.
No, it'd be Star. If it's a computer thing, it'd be Star Trek related.
Yeah.
But Batman would work too. Or what is it in Iron Man 2? Iron Patriot kicks ass or something like that. No. He calls it War Machine. War Machine kicks ass because he called him the Iron Patriot. He's like, that's a lame name. What's your password? I'm not going to tell. What's your password? War Machine kicks ass. Are you going to save it?
Yeah.
Good. News?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Who died?
Nobody died. I'm just gonna...
We'll wait until we get started.
I'm not even gonna read it. I'll read it.
You can't react like... Okay.
No. I'll read it on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I can, because I just did. It's weird.
I don't think you're quite understanding what I can and cannot do. So, Jay and I go to that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. station in Vegas.
Oh, yes.
And we get our picture taken.
Oh my god. And by the way, be glad you didn't do that.
It was pretty... He went to the wax museum. But that's our
I did
picture.
that.
There's ice in the fridge out in the garage.
Wait a minute. Mjolnir is blocking your face?
Yes. Here's the funny thing. Jay kept trying to toss it in the air, and the poor girl was trying to get the picture of it.
I want to see this picture.
And she kind of kept thinking we were either screwing up or she was screwing up or something. And she finally said, well, I got this one. And we looked, and it was that. And she said, I've also got this other one. And it was just Jay kind of cradling, Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Because I didn't catch it right.
Yeah, and so we're like, we want the one with the hammer in front of the face.
Yes.
Because it looks...
Like it's flying, kind of spinning at his head. You also kind of look like one of those Ultron robots. Just it's freaking hilarious. But the funny part is, we get up to the counter to pay for it, and
You just like it because your face is not showing.
yeah. So the guy brings it up and goes, "Here you go. This is going to cost this." Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. You got the wrong picture." He's like, "Yeah, but the other
Go let
picture, the
Jeff
hammer's in front of his face." No, that's the one we
Go let
want.
Jeff
Yeah.
in.
So the guy looked at us like, "All right, you old fucking crazy people."
Yeah, we got a couple of pictures as you go into the wax museum. They take, obviously, they say, okay, smile, sit here. And then you get to the end, it's like, so here are the pictures.
You're
So,
going to need to pour a little bit more of that and pass that around a little bit.
well, yeah.
He will.
I was going to read the back first.
Well, why don't we, before Jeff gets here, what?
He's upstairs.
Oh, he's right now. Okay.
We'll wait. Because he might have brought down something special, too.
He
We
might
don't
have.
know.
I doubt it. Because
Probably a
He
bottle
wasn't
of-
planning on coming until I said, but I miss you and I want to see you. And he's like, oh, okay.
Jay's never even said that to his wife.
And that will be...
Yeah, no, that's staying in here. If she were sitting here, I still would have said the same thing.
Yeah, you can... Oh, did you say wife?
Yeah, I said wife.
Okay.
Wife,
Wife.
not
Wives.
no precursor, no plural, no caveat, no nothing. Just wife.
Don't be ashamed. You've been married more than once.
Yeah, welcome. We're having T-shirts made.
Welcome to the club.
We got to get Jeff one. Just one.
We got to get him married first.
So I
Yeah.
said one.
Fuck. Yeah, he's got to have one divorce under his belt, and you know he'll do it too.
He's got multiple breakups.
Well, yeah, but they don't require
He's
lawyers.
even got a kid.
No,
I mean,
they don't.
Breakups are just get out. Oh boy, Jeff's here. The dogs love Jeff.
I can't believe you, man.
I forgot. I was going to bed.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't have to, but all right. It's all
No,
right.
you
I'm
did.
glad you're here.
I missed him.
So anyway, we're here. What day is today? Today is the 11th of November.
Officially Veterans Day.
Officially Veterans Day, the 11th of November. This is the Rum Rants podcast. And we are drinking. Obviously, we're going to start drinking here. And I am drinking Blackheart tonight. And we've got with us today, Jay, what are you drinking?
Cuban rum.
Cuban rum. So you guys are both going to be drinking that. Trina's here as well.
It's Vizcaya.
It's what again?
Vizcaya.
Vizcaya.
Black rum.
Black rum.
The high-end rum.
Hi,
And it is delicioso.
Oh, okay. Excellent. And have you gotten anything, Jeff?
No, I'm good for now.
No, good for now. Or we'll pour something down you later. And now, Earl's got an interesting one, though. What do you got there, Earl?
Well,
Shay.
I went to a liquor store, and I was deciding what I was going to get for the guys.
As you do.
Yeah. And I actually saw a brand of bourbon that's been advertised in the military community online for quite some time. And it's called Lead Slingers. And they're actually now marketing it out into liquor stores. So this is a veteran-owned whiskey company. And on the back it says, Lead Slinger Whiskey was founded in 2013 by 7 combat veterans. When USAF TACPS, U.S. Army Rangers,
Wow, that's
Green Beret, so yeah, U.S. forces.
yes. All
Yeah, there you
SFs.
go.
Got it.
Paratroopers combined their love for American and fine whiskey. Lead Slinger Whiskey was born. Tired of people afraid to support the Second Amendment, the Lead Slinger Whiskey team was focused on bringing a quality bourbon whiskey to freedom-loving, like-minded individuals.
Gun-toting, like-minded
So-
individuals.
Basically, stay frosty and freedom on.
Oh, there you go.
So here's what I'm thinking. That whiskey was made in Kuwait out of some potatoes and some other crap. They could,
When it first
they
started,
could
it's pretty
find.
flippin' smooth. So those tomatoes were refined.
Beats
Yeah.
the NyQuil, one of our old sergeants used to sneak overseas.
Oh, God.
I remember those old finding those steels in.
Pass that on. Have a snip if you'd like.
Who's ding-a-linging? What was that?
Oh, that's
Oh,
Jeff.
that was
His fantasy football.
Jeff, put your ding-a-ling
lineup.
away.
It's his lineup changed.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about fantasy football this season.
Oh, you getting your ass kicked?
Why not? You beat me on your fucking
That
wedding.
is true.
It's your wedding day present.
Thank you.
He beat
I
you on that
appreciate
one day.
On that one day, yes.
He's like,
Yeah, you're one of
oh,
my-
Jason let me win on my wedding day.
Well, at least somebody did.
He's like, that was such a nice wedding.
It was.
All right, first off, now I'm going to try to do a few segments. I got a couple ideas here, and I'm going to keep with the alliteration thing. We're Rum Rants, so we're going to do nerd news, and I'll put some sound effects in there. I'm thinking maybe the guy screaming nerds from Revenge of the Nerds, nerds, and then, something like that. Tech toys, which I got a tech toy I want us to talk about, which I think is really kind of funny. And I've been toying with the idea of, Jay and I kind of mentioned last time, doing a dramatic reading for what we consider the Bible, anything written by George Carlin.
Sure.
So we'll pick like a little short thing, not like 5 pages or something.
Yeah.
We just, I'm trying to think of what to call it, like a I don't know, something D-double-D or something like that.
Dialogue.
Dramatic dialogue. Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
Or just go simple. Something like Thoughts from George.
Well, I want to stick with the alliteration thing.
Okay.
Because our name is Rum Rants. I want to
Okay.
stick with the alliteration.
Fair.
Plus, it might not just be from George Carlin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it could
Yeah.
be.
Or In George We Trust. I might
Yeah.
actually do that one. But no, so we're starting with the nerd news.
Nerds. What is a nerd?
Now, today, nerd news, Jay has something he found he's going to bring up later, but
I
first...
can do it during nerd news. It's fine.
Well, no, that's what I mean. We're going to do it during nerd news, but also we're going to do the Ragnarok review. Now, have you guys seen Ragnarok?
Yes.
You guys have both seen it? You guys have both seen it? We've all... Finally, a movie we've all seen. Okay, then let's go ahead and start with that first. Jay, what are your thoughts on Thor Ragnarok?
I have one thought. Thoroughly entertaining. I enjoyed every moment of it. And from the opening scene where he's just twirling around to big monster. No, the whole thing. Just I was
I mean,
entertained.
the chain scene where he's spinning. I'll come back around in a minute.
Yeah.
Spoilers, by the way. Hold on, I'm listening. I swear, I'll turn back around in a minute.
And
God.
Rob, me, and Trina were at my aunt's house tonight, and we talked about Thor for like an hour.
Oh yeah, you're
Like,
with
all of us were
Stan.
just
And...
basically, if you hadn't seen
What,
it by
where
the
was Steve
time,
Stan? He didn't show up today?
Yeah, he went out. They went out tonight to
Huh.
Portland.
yeah,
Yeah.
One of his friends' birthdays or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you hadn't seen the movie, you would know all about it tonight.
yeah. If you're in the garage, you're basically dialogue novels.
So basically, hold on. Who was the guy I met that is the audio producer?
That is okay.
Sam.
So that's Sam. So
Okay.
My cousin Mindy, Bevan Tom's daughter, and then that's her boyfriend.
So he comes up and asks me about the podcast. I'm going on and on about how we started it, why we started it, what we do, back and forth, this, and that, and the other. And then we get to, hey, what do you do? He's like, what does he call? He's an
He's
professional audio editor.
Yeah, he's a sound engineer up in Seattle.
I'm like,
for Microsoft and
I must sound like an asshole. So I said to him, why the fuck aren't you podcasting then? Because he was really interested in it. He really honestly was. And I said, and then of course Stan's bragging about my setup, which doesn't hold a candle to anything Sam has. Nothing like what
Well,
he's
Sam
got, I'm
said
sure.
that was his dream. Like, he would love to be able to do that.
Well, he's got all this stuff for it. I mean, I even mentioned the few programs I use. He knew exactly what they were. He's got way better stuff than I do. But anyway, Sam, you can come do the show with us.
Yeah.
He actually did some of the audio with.
Thor with Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, you heard more of that.
Yes, he apparently Kate was up here in the area filming something else, some Cronenberg movie or something, and they needed some ADR done for Thor, and they called her down there, and they got a hold of Sam's department. You said he works for Microsoft?
I thought it was Microsoft, but
He didn't mention Microsoft.
I think he's done things for like Xbox games and stuff. Like
Oh, they're probably a subcontractor then.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he was laughing. He's like, I got these Disney and Marvel execs on the other end of the line, basically wanting me to set up this two-way communication between them and Kate on video, like Skype, but you can only do one of those things at a time. And they're all like, why? I mean, like Lucasfilm does shit like this all the time. I'm not Lucasfilm. He was telling me all about this stuff. I added that part, but he was telling me all about this crazy stuff that Disney expected. And then he went all this trouble, and it turns out it was basically like the second-in-command minions that were pushing him to do this. Once the executives got in there, they didn't give a fuck. They're like, hey, how you doing? Moving on. It's like, oh, I put all this work into it. But yeah, Sam, you have no excuse. You need to be podcasting. Anybody can podcast.
He needs to join us. I've invited him like 1,000 times, but they live up in Seattle, so it's
a bit of a hassle. We should go to Emerald with him.
we should.
I think we should go to Emerald anyway. I don't know if we're gonna make it this year. Trina, what did you think?
I thought it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thought it was funny, had a lot of good humor. I liked it.
Okay.
And I haven't seen the first two, so.
You don't need to. This movie stands by itself. In fact, it makes more of a sequel from Guardians than it does from Thor.
I told her the one thing she didn't know is because she kind of watched the first one. It was on TV in the background as we were doing chores and stuff.
So
That's all it
watched
needs to
parts
be.
of it, yeah.
So I just had to explain who the brother really was. That was
Loki, yeah, Hiddleston was especially
I've been
good.
falling for 30 minutes. I love that.
Doctor Strange, and they just look and turn. Now the best part of that was the hammer. They're standing in the, what is it called? The Sanctorum, Sanctuary Sanctorum, or whatever it is that Dr. Fate's. Not Dr. Fate. Sorry.
Yes.
strange.
Doctor Strange. His name escaped me. And then he just reaches up and he's like, crash, boom. I'm
He's
sorry
like,
about
sorry
this.
about that.
Crap. Mjolnir comes disguised as an umbrella.
Yeah.
It's just really funny. But anyway, Jeff?
Yeah, I liked it. It was definitely more comic bookish than the others with the colors and all that stuff. It seemed a little more lead into the Guardians for sure.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a Guardian sequel. Anything specific?
No.
I know.
You know, the colors is good. It's the artwork in that. That was really good. The scenes, the background, the colors, and all of that. That's actually a good point that I kind of enjoyed too.
I did like the cameos with Matt Damon, and then the guy who played Thor was actually Thor's
older brother.
That's
the older
right.
brother.
It was the oldest him brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That is so damn
And
funny.
I still don't understand how he got tasked with doing it in the first one in the first place. So
What
how
do you
did he? I mean, how did he get picked to go do that?
Hemsworth?
No, Matt Damon.
I don't. He probably asked.
Did he?
I
Or
mean, like
was
Daniel
he
Craig in
asked,
Star
or
Wars.
he
Can I
was
be in
like-
Star Wars? Yes, you're Daniel Craig. Here you go.
All right, but it would be nice to know that kind of backside
Hmm.
as to because this is the second time he's been in a Thor movie.
Damon? What was he in? Which one else was he in?
I don't remember what scene it was in the first movie, but as I recall, I was told he was in that one.
Oh, I'll have to look. I don't remember that at all. Although I haven't watched the Thor movies very often. Usually haven't been that good. But yeah, when I saw Matt Damon's face come on the screen, everybody in the theater
I
was
was like,
laughing.
"What?"
Oh god,
Actually,
that's
most
so funny.
people weren't in the theater I was at.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I recognized him right away.
Yeah, it was. I went to like a 12:00 showing. It was pretty full. Like,
So
of course,
then I was like, is that Matt Damon? I was like,
they hamming it up as Loki.
Yeah.
Was he Loki.
Yes.
Oh my god.
so funny.
What about you, Earl? What'd you think?
Well, I loved it. I liked it. So far, out of all the Marvel movies, I kind of rate it in the sense of, will I watch this more than twice? And Iron Man was one of those movies. Doctor Strange, I've watched that 4 times already.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful to look at.
Spider-Man: Homecoming, I will watch that at least 3 or 4 times, and I believe that this will be one that I will watch again.
Oh yeah, this is one to sit around and drink and watch.
Right. With that being said, I walked out of it going, yeah, I enjoyed that movie, but nothing was like, wow, you know. I agree with Jeff. This was very comic book more what I would like to see Marvel movies to be. But at the same time, I don't walk out of going, man, this blew my mind.
Mm.
Right.
But I did truly enjoy. This was one of those truly enjoyable, feel-good movies. It's not where I walked out of Logan going, oh man, that was a fucking badass movie. This was one of those ones where it's like, yeah, I can't wait to see this again.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminded me like an 80s campy style. Type.
Exactly.
It was
Yeah.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
It felt like Flash Gordon to me.
You know what? There you go.
Yeah, I could see actually take Hemsworth, put him in the role of Flash Gordon in the original.
I'd love
film.
to see
He'd
that.
pull it off. He'd
Yeah.
be exactly right for it.
Comedy-wise, it was great.
Yeah.
It's a good comedy, yes.
That's the
enjoyed
Hulk.
that.
Oh, I got to get off this planet. Where are you going?
I actually really enjoyed the Valkyrie character.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forget her name now, off the top of my head, but yeah, she was excellent.
I thought that she actually tied everything together. She's like, well, okay, now I guess I'm going to have to fight for your team. All right.
Yeah, I'm an Asgardian. I'm drunk.
She's
just
so
Tank
drunk
the
all
whole
the
time,
Yeah.
just stumbling off the ship.
Wait a minute. Wait,
He belongs
I
to
got
me.
this. Eldris Elba,
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heimdall.
Heindel. I liked his character a lot in this one.
It's kind of a rebel thing going on. I wish they'd have
Yes.
spent more time developing that.
I do love the whole backstory of the sister being the original, Hera being,
The original heir.
the original heir. So
Yeah, it's got kind of a archangel.
yeah, and the whole fact that
Thing.
the whole Mjolnir being broken just by her, and it's like, okay, all right, you're dealing with somebody you don't know who you're dealing with.
I thought Kate Blanchett did an amazing
She did a good job.
Now there's a penis metaphor if I ever heard one.
Oh, yeah.
Smashing the hammer. Yeah, she walked in and smashed that hammer to pieces.
So I mean, if I had
Well,
to
and
give
that
it,
it was her hammer before.
Yeah, exactly. This is mine, bitch.
so I'd give it 4 shots,
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's definitely. As for me, first off, best of the Thor movies, probably the only ones ahead of it in terms of the other. There's a lot of them ahead of it. Both Avengers, Winter Soldier, Iron Man's 1 and 3, maybe just one, are all still better. But still,
Yes.
that's mid-range. There's a whole bunch of other ones. I mean, Doctor Strange, for me, kind of sits almost in a category by itself. Until he has a sequel, I kind of feel like it's a category by itself.
Okay.
But I did feel about Doctor Strange very much the way I felt about Iron Man, the first one. Mm-hmm. Not quite as technically cool, but still cool. This one, like I've already said, way more like Guardians than Thor. Like Flash Gordon, like those 80s, almost Power Rangers-ish, in kind of a weird way. The humor was great. Hemsworth proved that he was funny in Ghostbusters. Arguably, for me, the second best part of Ghostbusters. I still think that
Yes.
Kate McKinnon is
Yes.
just
Oh, yes.
steals it. I could watch her all day do that shit. But he was definitely funny in that movie, and he's definitely funny in this one. What did he say? What did Stan say? Stan said he's basically that character from Ghostbusters, but stronger and maybe a tad smarter.
Right.
And that's what he is in Thor Ragnarok.
I would agree.
Oh my god, the opening scene when he's like trying to fight multiple things going once and he finally gets frustrated, just puts Mjolnir in the dragon's mouth, slam on the ground, stay, and the dragon's like trying to get up, which I just think is great because it just reminds me of that great argument they had when Vision picked up the hammer. But he's a machine. Well, if you put it in an elevator, it wouldn't just stop. That whole argument that Stark is having with Captain America. I want them to play off, now that they've destroyed the hammer, they're not going to be able to, unless it's comics, they can refix it if they want. But when Cap made the hammer move just a little bit, I kind of hope they pay that off somewhere. I think that might be interesting. But as far as this one, yes, I agree. The Valkyrie is very entertaining. I kind of wish they'd made, what's her name, Surf? The gal who got killed. Yeah, that's the other thing. His posse all gets killed by Hela in a 30-second
No,
cameo.
like wipe out.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. And so then I always kind of felt like he should be with I forget Surf, the one of his cronies, as opposed to Natalie Portman. That was just a mess. I don't know why they did that. I know she hasn't been back, but and of course then they make the joke of, well, we broke up. Well, she broke up with you. Oh, it was mutual. Yeah, okay, sure.
Well, and I kind of thought that they made it look like there was some kind of chemistry between him and the Valkyrie.
Yeah, and I thought that too. Since they killed off Surf, that was the other
Well,
option.
I got
think.
the fact that he was like enamored or in awe that here was this badass warrior woman who was actually before him. This is a woman who fought for Odin.
Yeah, the Valkyries.
Yeah. And he's like, oh shit.
Remind me again who Surf was?
That was his, like, remember his posse, like the big fat guy? I forget his name.
Okay.
I don't remember, from the first movie.
So when we were watching the first movie the other day, and I said, "Hey, remember this girl? She might show up again, but I'm not sure." Like part of his gang at the end.
Like the big red-haired, bearded guy, the Asian guy,
What does she look like?
French.
She had black
acting guy.
hair.
French guy. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones.
Like I said, we were when she was watching, we were half paying attention.
I know. I have to look it up again.
It was
It's not one of those ones I watch very often. But it was the crew, his buddies from the original movie, that all got killed in like that. Like they just show up and they're dead, which I thought was a little bit of a cop out. But
Yeah.
I will say, Kate Blanchett is hella fine as hella. Holy shit. Maybe without the horns. I could do without the horns. But when she's doing the goth punk thing, that was my
I
type of
thought the
girl.
horns and all that looked a lot like
Trigon.
no, and
Maleficent?
Angelina, yeah.
Maleficent.
Yeah, I saw a
I
little
had
bit of that in there. That design, though, I think is the part of the original design. I have to look it up. I forget, but
But if you look at it, like there's 4 on each side, so it's like a spider.
yeah, definitely had that. I also kind of felt it was weird. It was almost like like an anime thing where to fight she had to suit up. Like that was her suit up. Like the rest of the time she just
She's
looked
like,
Yeah, every single
Like a
time
hot
she
goth
fought,
chick.
Yeah.
but she's like,
But
all right,
the-
fine.
popping the horns.
Let's
But
do
the
this.
superheroes have to do that too. Even Thor has to do that.
He kind of does, yeah.
They all
You got to
do
grab his hammer, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't got his hammer.
Well, now that the hammer's gone, that's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Because I guess the
But
story
he's
is
also learned that he doesn't need the hammer.
yeah, exactly. I mean, but
that was
also
just a way to control his power.
well, that was also
now he's the true thunder god.
well, that's they did that to Wonder Woman too, as the God Slayer. The sword didn't really mean anything. But I am kind of curious how they're going to pay that off. Like, he lost an eye. Like, was that necessary? Stan didn't seem to think that was necessary.
I thought that was kind of silly.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
was
on the
like,
nose. It does kind of make him look badass. But from the rumor is that Hemsworth is a podcast fan, and he was listening to Kevin Smith talk about the Marvel movies, and he didn't bash it. He just said that the Thor ones were kind of at the bottom. You know, they are. They're still great. They're all wonderful, but of the least of which are the Thors.
Fair enough.
And maybe the first Captain America. But Hemsworth had heard this along with other criticisms and went to the Fiki, whatever the guy who directed it, I think a New Zealander or whatever directed it, and I think Feige, and said, hey, we need to make this funny. We need to make this more like Guardians. I want to get rid of the hair. I want to get rid of the hammer. I want the helmet, at least for one scene, which they did in the Gladiator scene, which was really cool. I kind of was hoping in the post-credit sequences that Beta Ray Bill might do a cameo. You guys remember that one? Mm-hmm. I kind of, because nobody knows who, I barely know who that is. But I know that he had Mjolnir for a while.
Yeah.
There was an alien in the comics called Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
And he had Mjolnir for a while. He was the Thunder God for a while. But he was I don't know what kind of alien he was. He was weird. He looked like a kangaroo, like a humanoid kangaroo.
I know we're talking about spoilers. I didn't stay for the second part. I saw the first Instinct credit, but I didn't see the second. What was the second? Do you remember?
God dang.
Was there a second one?
There
Yes,
was.
there was.
There were a bunch of them.
Was there a bunch of them?
There
Was it
there
when the
was only
giant
two.
ship? Was
There
it when the
only
giant
two.
ship showed up?
There's only 2.
I thought there was only 2.
Okay, I saw it with the giant ship showed up. And they're like, oh, everything's cool. And then this boom, this giant ship showed up out of
Right.
nowhere. And what was the other one?
I don't know.
Oh, I have
don't
to watch it
remember.
again.
I don't remember. I went to McMinimum, so I don't.
What
Yeah.
was the other one?
But yeah, it's I did enjoy the humor, and this was definitely cool. I thought the frickin' frack brother relationship between Hulk. Oh my god, they made a penis joke.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I thought that was awesome.
That was great, because it wasn't even in bad taste. It was thud, thud, thud. And you're like, wait a minute, what was that third thud? And Hemsworth is like trying not to look at it. Like he's trying to look Hulk in the eye.
He's like, I don't need to see it.
Whoever
I'm
sees
never-
a
I'm
big
never gonna
green
forget
dude
that.
naked.
Hulk
He's like,
dork.
oh, you're naked.
Oh, you're naked. You're so naked. Because you know
Well,
that thing.
The first thing,
It's a
the first
monster.
thing that I thought of when he said that, when that was going on, was Mallrats.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, Jason Lee just be shitting his pants right now.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely...
I thought it was funny when that guy was going to cut his hair and he's like, my hands aren't as steady as they used to be. He's like, please don't cut
Oh
my
yeah,
hair.
well that
No,
was a great
please don't."
that was a great Stan Lee.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Absolutely. With
Oh
the
my
scissors
gosh.
and shit.
And he's like, they're not as steady as they used
So
to
I'm
be.
pretty
And he's
sure
like,
I-
please don't cut my hair, please no.
But I also like the
And then there's like all these like hash marks on his head.
But I also like the development of Hulk because
Oh, yeah.
they needed to find a way to get Hulk into more of the streamline. Because obviously they couldn't do Planet Hulk.
No, they've already kind of
But-
established that.
And here we go.
Well,
we
what I
got,
wanna-
we got Planet Hulk without having Planet Hulk.
Well, remind me though, in Planet Hulk, who kicked him off the planet? Was it Doctor Strange?
No,
It was somebody really powerful. Like it wasn't Iron Man or anything. It was. I have to look it up, but
I don't. I
when-
can't remember who kicked him off the planet, but the way this scenario played out
yeah.
was fairly similar to how Planet Hulk.
And I understood that part. The part that gets me though is how did he end up from the Quinjet in Avengers 2, and then suddenly he's in space? As far as I know, those jets are not space worthy.
Well, apparently they are.
Because where the hell did he? I mean, he ended up-
Apparently they are because the Quinjet was sitting there on this planet.
yeah, I know. That's what weirded me out. Like how that happened. And I'd like to find out maybe later that maybe Heimdall was like, flipped the lever and sent him over that direction.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you though, you already kind of half mentioned it. The two breakout, or not even just breakouts, the sure obvious, but the two best parts for me were Goldblum and Hiddleston. Those two were funny as fuck. Goldblum was in special form. Like that's funny, Jeff Goldblum. That's just
I
good
love
shit.
him.
Well, but what about the Rock dude?
The Rock dude was cute.
love
I like the Rock dude.
I love how his voice was just.
He's got that
Yes,
little, that little
yes.
British kind of accent,
and
little
he,
something.
and he was just so soft spoken, and you're just like, what?
He
You're
was
not
pretty
expecting
cute.
that
He's
to come out
badass
of-
warrior, and all of a sudden you're being.
And
all,
he's just so proper, and you're not expecting that to come out of this rock guy.
We're trying to get around. This is just a big circle.
I think he's dead. Oh no, he's alive.
Yeah.
I've been carrying him
Carry him
around
all
all
day.
day because I just feel,
Feel
so
bad.
bad.
No,
Oh, he's alive!
the hologram bit with the rocks.
Oh, I love that.
Then he does it to him at the end. I just want to make sure you're there. Yeah, Hiddleston was so good. You laughed. You mentioned I've been falling for 30 minutes.
I've been falling for 30 minutes.
And hey, wait, is that the Hulk? I gotta get off this planet. And what was the other one? Oh, when the Hulk out of nowhere just grabs Thor and does the smash on him that he did to Hiddleston.
That's how I felt.
That's how it feels. That was great. But even so, it was nice to see him kind of incorporate a villain, because I don't know that in the movies, Marvel movies or whatever, they've really never done that to any effective, not for years anyway. They haven't done it to any kind of effective degree, where you can take a villain, a straight up villain, and from what comic book fans say, that his Loki was pretty much legit, like that's what Loki was like. But then to kind of incorporate him back into,
But they've been doing it too.
and they gradually over movies.
Yeah.
That's right, they've been doing it, and I think that's really cool to bring him. I'm kind of curious if they're going to have him really betray everybody in Infinity War.
well,
he is Loki.
did you not see how he eyed the Tesseract?
Oh yeah, he stopped. Yeah. He stopped.
We
to
don't
look.
know if he took it or not.
No, and we don't know. And I love Hella actually paused and looked at it too. She's like, "That one sucks. That one's fake. That one's not bad."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what's she talking about? I did kind of like that whole mural underneath the stone thing in,
Yes.
in the
That was
temple.
cool.
I thought that was really awesome. That's like an archaeology thing, which I thought was really cool. I think they did Hoskins justice in terms of his departure. I'd say unless he does some other kind of movie later that's bigger than this, I think that was pretty much Anthony Hopkins' kind of
Yes.
goodbye. And that's like a death scene for him. It's really impressive. I really was impressed by that. And then to have Hela show up. That was the other thing. I mentioned this at dinner. That great trailer we've all been talking about all year. And the great scene that I recreated with my daughter with the hammer and Hela dressed up in the black and everything. In the trailer, it's in a city. Like the scene takes place in like an alleyway. And then in the movie, it's flat in Norway. It's like the middle of nowhere. It's blue sky behind her and shit. Like,
They're on a cliff.
whoa! Like they just literally superimposed one thing for the other. I'm wondering if that was an edit change or if that was to throw us off the trailer change.
I think it was more of throw us off a trailer change because I like that. The fact that as soon as Odin wisped away,
Yeah.
there she was. Daughter shows up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing
Hello,
that was holding her
boys.
back was him
Yeah.
being alive.
And in the trailer, it kind of makes it seem like it's during some sort of big fight.
Big
when-
battle, yeah.
Which I was a
when
little
in
disappointed.
reality, it was like she showed up, he threw the hammer, and like,
And she's like, yeah, and?
and Loki's like, "We gotta get out of here, run!"
Yeah.
He's like, bring us back.
Or-
And he's like, no, because she's going to follow us.
Oh yeah, with the dragon that got beheaded
Yeah.
in the gate.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh my
That was
God.
awesome. And the girls are just like,
Gross.
It's, actually, that was
Dude.
one of my other favorite little side character was that
Carl
guy.
Urban
Yeah.
as Scourge.
Scourge, yeah.
Oh my God, he was funny. These are my two guns,
Yeah.
Dez and Troy.
because together they destroy.
Troy, so lame.
I love that unlimited ammo he
Yeah, I
had.
know.
I know. He
Yeah,
went through like
unlimited-
5 mags and then stopped. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, then he ran out of ammo. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, where'd you get the ammo from?
And I said, babe, it's a movie.
She actually did.
But you know what? I said that same thing. I was just like, first off, those were M16A1s.
Yes, they
They
were.
were.
And yeah, that's a deep cut right there.
And I said, it's a movie.
Yeah. And those only had 20-round magazines, although those were clearly 30-rounders in there. In the A1s. But no, Carl I think he was surprised. He was so great. And he almost seemed like he would be a throwaway character, I think. But nothing works without him. If you think about it, he's the Heimdall in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who betrays Hela later on.
Yeah. He had a good sacrificial
Well,
moment.
it
Yeah.
looked like at first he was like a creature of opportunity. Like, I will do whatever keeps me alive.
Yeah. And he kind of
And then at
does.
the end,
Well,
he's
and he
like,
did.
No, he was.
right, but then at the end, he was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, it goes to like his first execution. He's like, this is gonna be really bad. I don't want to do this.
No, I think his little story arc was cute. When Thor first shows up, he's like, do I know you? Like, yeah, we fought together at blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, whatever.
That's a total Three Amigos type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Who are you again? No, he was surprisingly funny in that bit. But Thor, if I were to give an example of what would be a 5er, Iron Man and Spider-Man would be 5s, okay? I wouldn't say Thor quite makes 4 for me. I think the Guardians and Winter Soldier and Civil War are still quite a bit better. But it's definitely, 3.5. 3.5 shots out of 5. So, which still puts it at both the other Thor movies and probably the first Captain America movie and maybe 1 or 2 other little things here and there. I I did enjoy the Stan Lee. I enjoyed all the cameos in it. Holy shit, including Damon and
Oh
everybody
my
else.
gosh, Matt Damon.
That was pretty funny.
I was like, wow.
But-
Matt Damon with long hair is just weird.
But I will say though that the frickin' frack brother relationship between Hulk and Thor was what pretty much sold it for me. Sharing a room together, total military buddies or dorm mate, college dorm mate type thing going on. One not liking the other, but kind of still liking them a lot. I thought that was especially funny, and for Thor to fight without his hammer, I thought was interesting too. But yeah, no, that's definitely where I'm at with that. Now that kind of concludes our Thor. We enjoyed it. We liked it. Average is about 3 to 5 to 4 shots.